Hello. In this brief video, I just want to describe a little bit about what yoga therapy is. So most people think yoga is active stretching and a lot of movement, and usually done by skinny people who are very flexible. Um, that's kind of like the model idea of humanity, right? Where you take a model, if you were to take an example of a runway model and say, that's what a woman is. That's not what a woman is. That's just one kind of woman who's doing a very specific job. So when they take photographs of people doing yoga, it's usually the people that look good doing yoga and have, impressive things that they are able to do, like standing on their head or standing on their hands or, putting themselves into a very difficult posture because it's interesting to look at. As a visual medium, that's what photographs do. But that is not what yoga is. That's just one part of yoga. That's the yoga asana. So that's like when I'm moving the body, stretching the body, feeling the body. And that is very therapeutic if you have the right kind of movement for whatever is going on. For example, if you had someone who had a wrist injury and you're asking them to go into a handstand, that's not therapeutic because that could cause further injury to that person. Or if you're in a very active flow class, but you haven't done a lot of exercise and you're not really quite fit enough, that can be very discouraging and disheartening when you can't keep up with the class. That's one of the drawbacks of doing yoga in a class setting. The way you can practice yoga therapy is with the guidance of me or another practitioner who will help you identify. So if we use that same example, if you have a wrist injury, we wouldn't be using any asana postures that might put pressure on the wrist. We would try and find different kinds of stretches that might help you to strengthen and feel the wrist and help the wrist to heal, or recommend using, ice and heat alternating to try and get some energy and movement in the wrist and some gentle stretching of the wrist, but not putting weight on it. Yoga therapy can be used to treat pretty much anything. It's not a cure. It's not going to necessarily make everything go away, but it does make whatever you're dealing with easier to deal with. And then, so the other difference is that in a regular yoga class that you would do, you might do as many as, 20 to 40 different asana. You're just moving through a bunch of different postures. And in a yoga therapy session, you might only learn like 4 or 5. The rest of the time might be meditation or visualization or pranayama, breathing exercises. And they're really focused postures. So they're not just maybe helpful or mostly helpful for most people. They're very targeted. So for today, I'm going to do a fertility session, and that is all targeted based on where she is in her cycle and what the expectation is for that point. Hopefully right now we're going to work on implantation postures, and essentially it just boils down to trying to lower the stress response. That's why when I did my yoga teacher training, I didn't stop there. I started to really get focused on the yoga therapy side of things because I myself had so much benefit from doing yoga in a therapeutic way, and really organizing my life around trying to bring down my chronic stress. And that helped eventually heal a condition that I'd had for 9 years, a chronic inflammatory condition that had unknown cause and was not going away on its own. And they kept saying, you have to lower your stress. And I was trying different things, but nothing worked the same way as really getting into yoga and understanding what my body needed and what I could do to help to make that better. So that's a brief explanation. Yoga therapy can treat pretty much any condition and at least help you to feel better. Please contact me if you have any questions. Namaste.